It wasn't even you coming out and saying it. You had to get called on your bullshit.
I got called on my shit. I couldn't be like, hey, I know you just got like blown up in a tank overseas. Sorry about it.
Liar! 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 Download my new Simpler Budget app today and take control of your money once and for all. And as an extra limited time only bonus, I will give you a signed version of my budget-friendly cookbook for free when you sign up for Simpler Budget Premium Annual.
My name's Cora. I'm 26 from Knoxville, Tennessee, and this is Financial Audit.
Thanks for coming down from Knoxville. What do you do up there for a living?
Up there, I have two jobs. I manage a luxury tattoo studio, and I'm a marketing director for a small jewelry company.
What's a luxury tattoo versus a tattoo?
So, like, when you think a tattoo studio, you think kind of like a little tratty-daddy shop, like art on the walls everywhere. We kind of look like a spa, and we tattoo out of it.
Okay. Okay, so
just think like really bougie tattooing.
Dirty needles, but elevated. Gotcha.
No, clean needles.
And the second job?
The second job, I'm a director of marketing for a small jewelry company, specifically body jewelry.
Perfect. What are you making each?
So I make $21 an hour as a manager at the tattoo studio.
And how many hours a week do you work on that?
That is 40 hours a week. That's my full-time gig.
Okay. That's your full-time gig?
That's my full-time
Oh,
gig.
so the marketing's the...
Oh, yeah. Marketing director is my part-time.
Okay.
I make $23 an hour, and I average about 6 hours a week doing that.
6 hours?
Yeah,
okay.
It's not a lot. There's not a ton that needs to be done. I have a small team that's doing the bulk of it. I mostly go in and I set up the scheduling.
You have a small team?
Yeah.
Why would the person that has the team be the one that's not making any money? That doesn't really make sense. You're not managing them.
I give them what they're supposed to do, and they go do it. As to whatever they need to do. I go in and I take all the product photos, and I take all the product photos. I tell them what to do.
So what's in your account on a monthly basis?
Well, I also have a husband, so we're dual income.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. What does he do?
He is a bar manager for 12 local bars.
Wow. Okay. So what hits the house on a monthly basis? On
a monthly basis, with the jobs we work, with the VA money that comes in, we make about $8,000 a month.
Who's VA?
Husband is VA.
Okay.
So retired military.
So what all comes in? Is it disability?
Yeah, disability pay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just every time.
I know, every time.
I'm not like questioning it. I don't know. It's just like if I hear veteran, I know for a fact they have disability.
Yeah.
There has not been one veteran on the show that does not have disability.
Well, he did get blown up overseas in a vehicle.
That's a good way to get disability.
So some very serious injuries came out of that.
Yeah. No. Trust me, I'm not questioning it. I'm just like, if I hear it, I know there has not been one without it. So it's an interesting,
it's pretty consistent.
Thing. But okay, so what hits the account on a monthly basis?
About $8,000 a month.
$8,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool. Not bad. How are we living
amount.
in Knoxville? Knoxville's not a uber high cost of living area.
It's really not. It should feel better. And
why is it not feeling good?
I'm in some debt from when I was like 18 that I have yet to escape from.
That's 8 years ago.
I know.
Well, what's the issue?
Well, the issue is like we paid off some debt. We got it right back up. We didn't actually fix the spending habits with it.
How'd you pay it off?
So got a reimbursement check from when we filed.
You mean husband?
Husband. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Husband filed for VA disability, and the disability back pay came in. We took that money.
So
we
it
paid
wasn't
off
any
everything.
effort you guys actually put in. It was a lump sum.
We were handed
check.
a lump sum, yeah. And so then we spent it right back up. We got
that's
into
what happens
some.
every time. That's why I'm kind of
some
against it. So changing your behavior.
Well, we thought we did, and we didn't.
You thought you changed your behavior?
Yeah, the money was gone, and then it came right back.
When was this?
And that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, so it's not debt from when you were 18. You paid off the debt.
No, one of them is, and we'll get there.
Okay,
and you're probably going to yell at me from that one.
This is a lot, though.
It is a lot.
In fact, I see a lot of individual debts. Oh, thank one's a mortgage, because that's an insane number for your total debt.
It really is.
Okay, so one out of like 1,000 debts.
I know. The rest of them we built back up because
okay, but it's not debt from when you were 18. It wasn't you just being a dumb teenager. This was a few years ago.
Yeah, but
when you were
one
an
of them
adult.
was.
Okay.
The biggest one was.
The biggest
credit card.
Is from 18?
No, the credit card. The biggest credit card was.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was from when I was 18.
Biggest credit card, but not the biggest debts, which besides the mortgage, again, is car loan.
Those are new.
Yeah, so it's not, okay. I just kind of want to immediately take a step back. I'm just, when looking at your overall situation, no, it's not just a stupid little mistake you did at 18, which, okay, that would just be a different setup. Then the reality is, okay, a few years ago, we were basically debt-free, and then we decided, wait, let's not be.
Yeah, but...
It's just important to note the actual reality of the situation.
It is. And I mean, my husband now knows all about it. He didn't know all about it at first.
Wait, didn't know about what?
Some of the debt. So when we initially paid everything off.
Wait, he didn't know about all the debt when you guys made that lump sum from his disability?
No, he didn't.
So you used the lump sum. He didn't know?
He said he wanted to use the lump sum to pay off our debt. We paid off our debt. I just didn't tell him about some of it.
He just didn't know what debt was?
I just didn't tell him about some of it.
Why? What's the point?
There was a lot of embarrassment and shame there, and like I thought I could handle it whenever all of that was gone.
Wouldn't it be more embarrassing to hold on to it longer?
Oh, it definitely was. Like, don't get me wrong. I fucked up. Or to have
to come back a few years later and be like, you know what?
I mean, I messed up.
I suck.
I've admitted to my wrongs. We've gotten past that.
Okay.
And now here we are again. So like we're trying to get through it
again.
What do you
mean? Well, again? What do you? Okay, again.
Not again with the lying.
Again?
Not again with the lying. Just
okay,
again
but what's
with again with the like large amount of credit card debt.
Built up over how long? Because it's not since 18. It's not since 18.
This that you're going to be looking at has been built up over the past 4 years. So post-deployment.
When was that lump sum that came in?
That was 2021. Because husband came home from deployment 2020. Point. Yeah, so from 2021 to now, it's like 4 years.
Consistent buildup?
Consistent buildup. So it was like we lost a job, and then we had to pay our bills still, and we still had to buy groceries.
You didn't have an emergency fund.
We had no emergency fund.
Did you cut back your life expenses?
I'm gonna say no at the time. At the time, definitely not. Because I had to buy. I had to buy a bunch of stuff.
Your expenses need to change with it. It is easy as that.
Yes, but the income hadn't like drastically changed, and then we lost the job. Well, we lost the job, and that's whenever it started getting bad, and that's when we cut back the lifestyle. But we still had to.
That's what I just asked you, and you just said no.
Well, like I hadn't really been budgeting up until then.
No. I'm just confused. You said nothing changed, and now you're saying lifestyle was cut back.
Well, things had changed, but it wasn't like a drastic change. Like I didn't like
Did
cut back on everything. Did you cut back
lifestyle or not?
I mean,
Did you cut back lifestyle or not?
I tried to where I could.
Where you could? What's could?
So like I was working in retail, and I was getting regularly dress coded for not like being the most up to date and things like that.
You lost your job, you said.
No, husband lost the job. I'd had consistent income this entire time. Husband lost the job.
In retail? What are you talking about? Well, we work at Old Navy, and they're like, hey, you're not wearing your Old Navy shirt today.
Pretty much. And that was regular. It was every day. It got to a point where it was just really bad. It was really toxic.
Have 5 shirts, right? And just wear them over and over again.
That's what you would think, but then like new season comes out, you have to get new season stuff.
What store is this, can you say?
I mean, yeah, I worked at Victoria's Secret.
Okay, I don't know.
And as they're cycling through product, you have to be the most up to date and things like that. So like, you have to be on top of it with it, and that was a regular dress code issue. So I'd have to go and spend money and go change and come back and clock into work. So like some of it I cut back on. Yes, like I wasn't Uber Eatsing all the time. I cut back on my Starbucks, but I still had to like spend money on things that I should have been spending money on to be able to consistently.
So what's the major issue today then?
Major issue today is that I have a lot of debt, and I am now on a little bit of a time crunch with some things.
Why?
I started filing my taxes for this year. Okay. This is the first year I've ever supposedly owed. I owe about $3,000 to $4,000.
Okay, why? What happened?
So I'm not 100%. We're both W-2s. We don't make any tips or anything. So I went in. I've been filing jointly for the past 5 years. And this year,
filing jointly?
No, I'm filing jointly. This year it says I owe $3,500 here, so I go to a new one and I'm owing $4,000 there. And then I go to another website and I'm owing $3,000 here, and like I'm freaking out because we have this giant surgery that's coming up that's going to cost us a significant amount of money.
What's the surgery?
So has to have a surgery. The medical is considering it an elective surgery. It's going to be like
an elective surgery.
Unfortunately,
so it's not a critical.
Unfortunately.
But it's not a life-saving surgery?
It's not a life-saving surgery, but it is going to change the, how, like, we live our lives. So, like, there's a lot that's going to come with this.
Right.
And it is...
Okay, but it's not needed life or death?
No, like, husband will continue to live past this if we don't get it.
And do we need to get it right now?
Yes.
Even though it's not actually...
There is a lot of pain that is going on with the surgery. It's to alleviate some things.
It fixes physical pain?
Yes, like some physical and mental pain that's coming with it.
Okay. How much is this going to cost?
$6,500, which I have in savings. I was trying to save double the amount that the surgery was going to cost.
Why?
So I have PTO that I saved up over the past couple years. Husband does not have PTO with work. There's no benefits like that.
Yeah, but disability comes in for husband. How much comes in from just disability?
About $2,100, and that covers our mortgage, and that also just goes straight to savings for the remainder, so that money is just constantly building up to be saved.
$2,500 is your mortgage?
Mortgage is $1,650, and we get $2,100 from disability every month.
That was 20% of your income. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that covers that. And then we wanted to save double that so that we have money for like the 1 month recovery process. I'll have enough PTO saved up for that. But now like I owe like almost $4,000 in taxes. So that's almost like the whole amount that I have saved up. So that's kind of where I'm starting to like really panic with all of that. So like I had the money, I was feeling good, I was going to cash flow it, I was still going to come out the other side with some money. And now it's not looking like I'm going to come out the other side with the money. On top of everything else we have to pay for, in like about a year and a couple months, there's the potential that we're going to be moving state lines.
Was this military?
No, husband is applying for PhD programs right now.
Which would, by the way, I mean, yes, you can get some money from that, but it's not gonna like make it a lot. So there is gonna be an income hit.
There is gonna be a bit of an income hit, and we're trying to save up the money so that if we do move state lines, PhD in literature.
Okay.
With a specific focus in Appalachian and African American literature.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't look at me like that. I know.
Well, I mean,
it's a growing field. There's an actual field for it right now.
African American. Okay.
Yes,
I was like, wait, Africa and Appalachia? Where's that? African American.
The crossover of the two. There's an actual field that's divulging in it, and there's actual like work to be done in it that is actively going on. So husband is in
5 people.
No, it's like actual research fields that are going into it.
Yeah, but for like, what's the employment sector look like?
I mean, it's actually pretty high with the archivist positions and things like that are coming out. Not insanely
Do we know
high.
Anything?
Not insanely high.
Do we know the job openings versus how many people are trying to get in?
Me personally, I don't.
This is a big decision for the household.
This is a big decision for the house. And with
I'm
that...
not against going into the PhD thing, but what a lot of people do is that permanent college routine where they go to college to get another degree, to then get their advanced degree, to get their mega advanced degree, so that they can go and teach college. And it's like, oh, hopefully they get that program.
And that's the other option.
Colleges are going through some hard things, and then who knows what's shaping up with the Department of Education, and college enrollment rates aren't looking completely great, which is what funds a lot of things like this. And I feel like those programs would be the first ones to go because they don't really matter.
So that's where it got a little spooky, because where we're at now is kind of prime territory to get into this study field, but we kind of got pulled to the side and told like, hey, funding cut.
So
we're in like the Appalachias. So like that is where they're doing the research and things like that. But we were pulled to the side and told like, hey, instead of applying to like 5 PhD programs, you got to apply to 20 now. So
they're
like pick some places.
Focus?
Yeah. Not all of them are going to like
20
accept
colleges
us.
Teach them. Okay.
But, you know, that's also an expensive hit because we have to pay for the application process. And then if we start and, you know, we have to move to a new city, like I have multiple pets. I can't just get an apartment. Like I have to sell my house, buy a new house.
Oh, sell the house. When did you guys get this house?
We got the house 3 going on 4 years ago now. And we do have some equity in the house.
Okay.
They're building new subdivisions and things like that. I think it's about $50,000 to $70,000, depending on how much we could like really sell from the house. Would be what we got in return. And then I think in actual equity we have about $30,000.
You think so?
Yes.
Equity of $30,000. So maybe you'll walk away with 10.
Value. I mean, our house is on the upscale of the market.
Which would help you get into an apartment.
They're building subdivisions and things like that around us. So, like, our house's value has gone up significantly.
Or that's more supply, which brings down value. Like, I don't know.
That's the other issue.
It depends. Well, that's not it's an issue for you as a specific owner, but I think it's an overall good thing for people to be able to, the market to be able to meet demand.
Right.
Okay.
So a lot of big expenses coming really fast. My goal was ultimately to be, like, debt-free by 30, and, like, now my time frame is, like, you know, I got, like, a year. So I gotta speed things up.
Well, we're barely getting any proceeds to be able to throw it towards the debt, if we're being honest, because that debt is absolutely insane. Mm-hmm. We're almost at 6 figures of literal just bad debt, so $10,000 won't make too much of a dent. That might get you into another apartment. That might help with moving costs to a city so that we can spend time and effort into a degree that might not create a return on investment.
Let's be real. If your private student loans have you eyeing a third job at the local taco stand, maybe it's time for a better plan. Y-Refi is your lifesaver in a sea of debt. Unlike the typical loan sharks who treat your credit score like a magical crystal ball, Y-Refi cares if you actually want and can afford to repay. So forget about jumping through hoops and start jumping for joy at their under 6% interest rates. That's right. 6%, less than 6%. Plus, they've got a co-signer release program so you can finally give your mom a break from your financial baggage. So consider it your early Mother's Day or Father's Day gift. They also offer a structured repayment plan to lower your monthly bill and personal reps who actually pick up the phone. It's no wonder why they've got a 4.6 star rating on Google. Apparently, treating borrowers like humans actually works wonders. So if you're sick of interest rates that are so high, they may as well charge you for oxygen. YRefi is your shot at a real solution. No more losing sleep and no more ignoring the mountain of student loan statements on your kitchen table. Go to yrefy.com/hammer. That's yrefy.com/hammer. Or call 888-YREFI-78. That is 888-YREFI-78. And get out from under the weight of private student loans. Let's make your debt meltdown a distant memory, not a daily reality.
Now, we don't have any student loans for husband.
But you do.
I do.
So. Okay, that's not the biggest issue. Like, student loans wouldn't be the worst loans. We have horrible loans throughout.
But
I'm just saying
we'll
we can't use
this-
$10,000 to pay it off. And you guys have only paid off all your debt once before, right?
I mean, a couple times. Like, we used some money from the deployment to pay off some debt. And
Unemployment?
No, from the deployment. From
The deployment.
The deployment.
How many times you guys have paid? How many times have you guys paid off debt?
3.
When?
Well, deployment money we used to pay off debt. When? I'm telling you.
Yeah, I want like how long ago, not when. I don't know
It
when he was
was
deployed.
at least 4 years
I
ago.
there? Was I deploying?
No,
Did I
but
say
I was
go get
giving you the
deployed?
timeline. So it was at least 4 years ago because I've built it back up over the first
4
4
was
years.
one. We heard about that one.
Yes.
Where's the other 2?
So I'm telling you, prior to that was the deployment. So we paid off the debt there. We didn't have a ton.
I don't know when the deployment
That was like 2020. So 2020 we paid off debt.
Okay.
2021 we paid off more debt, and then I had paid off some of my debt.
Within 1 year. Within 1 year, we had to do it twice. Okay,
Yes.
and the other time?
And then the other time was when I was 19. I tried to pay off a bunch of my own debt.
Tried to, or did you?
I did. I didn't pay off one of them. I got rid of everything but one.
How?
I had taken some of my like college refund money and paid towards that instead of putting it on my student loans. So I was receiving refunds every time I like enrolled in a semester, which was just excess money from my student loans. It should have been putting back on my
but
loans.
you were just
I was
using student loan money
that.
to pay off credit cards.
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually debt pay. Okay. It was kind of like a
I mean, they
consolidation.
gave me a check, so like,
Yeah, and it's actually meant for like school or
which I was putting my books
school-related
on
expenses.
like the credit cards, so like it kind of balanced itself out there.
Kind of. Let's see if they would think that going into it.
I mean, they won't, but
Okay, so then you got to move all the animals too.
yeah.
And you don't know where you're moving.
I don't know where I'm moving. We won't know until probably 3 months prior to moving.
So $8,000 is going to go down to like. Okay, of the $8,000 that comes in, minus you, minus the disability, what is he bringing in?
Makes about $40 an hour working 35 hours a week. So that's on average like a $2,000 check.
$40 an hour.
About 35 hours a week, yeah. There's some taxes taken out, so like, what, like 18 or so?
What? That would be $5,600 a month before taxes. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're asking on like a monthly basis. Sorry, that's per pay period. So I guess it's.
What? You guys
Hold
get
on.
$16,000 a month?
Hold on, I'm sorry. My numbers are getting mixed
How
up
is
in my
that
head.
$16,000 a
Hold on.
How much comes in?
I'm trying to figure that out
I
right
had
now.
11,000 hit, but one was a university deposit. Is that one of the payrolls?
No.
Then what the fuck is that?
So we are bringing in about 8,000.
I have
yeah.
VA 2,122, and then I have payroll 6,527.
So husband's
yeah,
hours have been cut recently because the winter there's not as many people at bars.
Up still, though. What was it cut down to?
It was cut down to like
Like 15?
it was cut down to about 20.
Okay, well that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, that was the winter season. We're getting back into the summer season, so
What?
bars are picking up more hours.
What can I say comes in? What was the University of Tennessee deposit?
That was. I'm trying to think.
It was put back into your account.
It was.
Oh my! Come on, that's
I'm
a
sorry.
substantial.
I'm not looking at the bill. I'm not looking at it in front of me, so I'm just having a hard time.
3,115. That's an insane amount of money. That's substantial.
$3,000 from University of Tennessee.
Oh my good.
I'm sorry, I don't have the statements in front of me, so I'm getting real mixed up on my numbers. That was likely just a refund from where we have to occasionally pay them forward, and they reimburse us when we get our Chapter 33 in.
What, do I have to call him to get clarity at some point?
No, I'm thinking it through with you.
I just need an answer. Okay. Where do you think you are in a scale to 0 to 10? 0 being the absolute worst, 10 being the absolute best. Where do you think you are?
I'm going to say 1 because I do have a home.
If you want your
at
Hammer
least.
financial score, go to calebhammer.com or check out that link in the description below. And if you want to come on this show down here in Austin, Texas, hang out with us for a bit, go to calebhammer.com/apply. We would be happy to have you on this show. All right. Well, we're starting with First Financial Bank.
Yeah. So
What?
that one is the one that was hidden that has never been paid off.
So because you were embarrassed?
So I was 18 at the time when I applied for the card.
Yeah, but it was hidden 4 years ago.
Yes.
You weren't 18 4 years ago, so I don't give a
No.
about 18.
They gave me like a $20,000 credit limit. I ran all the way up to the $20,000 pretty much immediately. And I worked to pay it down some, brought it back up. We started paying off debt in these lump sums. And then I panicked because I didn't want to be the guy that was in the wrong in this situation.
But you were, so it doesn't matter.
But I was really, I felt horrible about that.
Were you married at the time?
We had recently gotten married.
You're hiding a debt from a married.
Yes. It's all in the open now. It's all fully out in the open.
When? Why?
It became
why
fully out
did
in the
it become
open.
in the open, and when and why?
So, 3.5 years ago, husband got the mail, opened up the letter from the company. It was a bill for $18,000. Said, "Hey, this is wrong. Like, someone's gotten your information. Like, what's going on here?" And there's obviously nothing else to do but then be honest. So I said,
So
"Hey."
it wasn't even you coming out and saying it. You had to get called on your bullshit.
I got called on my shit. I got called on my shit hard.
And
It was-
how can he trust now?
It's a level of trust to where like everything is just out in the open all the time, constantly. So
Until it's not.
everything. Like our first year of marriage, we spent apart. So like obviously like things like that were harder on us. Just from the deployment was our first full year of marriage, then coming home and getting back into things and injuries and everything else, and then opening up this, and there's this giant lump sum that I owe, and I couldn't be like, "Hey, I know you just got like blown up in a tank overseas. Sorry about it. Here's this $18,000 bill that I ran up."
What the you had a lot of time to talk about it. It wasn't just after the fucking explosion.
No, I had.
That's a cop out.
It was, and I felt ashamed, and I
That
felt
is.
guilty, and
You just try to make that excuse now.
I just felt really guilty. Like we had only really dated for about like a month before we got married. We had known each other for a little while before that, but it was one of those like speed run relationships that you see in the military, and I just
Where did all this money go on this card? Because listen, if you've had this card since 18, there would be a little more progress on it. Even just minimum monthly payments without any purchases. So I mean, there's purchases right in here. Listen, and it's basically maxed out with a $389 minimum monthly payment, which is insane.
Yes.
The balance is $10,763.37 with $84.90 of purchases. So why are we purchasing? What have you done with this card since the debt payoff? Since
it became out in the open, like we had to put our rent on there a few times.
before you got the mortgage?
Yes, prior to the
How much
mortgage.
was your rent?
It was about $1,200 at the time.
Then you don't go get a more expensive mortgage if we're not paying off the card where the rent was put on. That was cheaper than the mortgage we are paying.
But at the time, I didn't have any way to pay my rent. I had to pay my rent somehow.
That's not the point. Pay down this fucking card instead of getting a...
Yeah, but my rent was going up, and at that point, I could have a mortgage that was the same as the rent of the crappy apartment I was in.
mortgage that you might have an equity position. We don't even know. You think you might have a $30,000 equity position? Well, that's not very much, and that can move up or down depending on where you're forced to sell it at.
I mean, yeah, but
You had an $80,000. I would feel if you thought you had $80,000 of market position in your house, I would feel confident that you'd at least walk away with some money because you would be able to do price cuts if necessary, and you'd still walk away. $30,000 after all the fees and commissions and everything, you would have to get it at the exact price you think it's worth without any movement for you to walk away with like $10,000.
But the thing was my rent was going to be increased to $1,600, and it was that, or I could buy a house and get a $1,600 a month mortgage. So like, at least I own a home, and I'm not in an
And you
apartment.
have maxed out credit card for that you're putting all your rent payments on from before.
But all my payments have come out just fine now.
You
Just
purchased
fine on my
here.
mortgage.
Yeah, because you're putting your fucking purchases on the credit. If you were just running out of a debit account, would you even be able to pay your mortgage? I don't know.
Yeah, should be good. I just have to get rid of a few things.
What does that mean?
If I get rid of a couple of credit cards, then I can start cash flowing things.
You're purchasing on the credit cards.
Because I can't cash flow them. So I got to get rid of the credit cards. So I'm paying the credit cards down at a higher rate.
How much did you spend last month?
I would say
Household.
I at least spent what I brought in. So if you're saying that I brought in like 11,000, I've probably spent about 11,000.
No, because you can't say what that deposit was from. Let's take away the University of Tennessee.
Okay. So
You
bringing
brought
in
in
like,
about 8,600. How much was spent?
I would say about 8,000.
Okay, 9,600. So you spent $1,000 more. Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna cash flow. What cash flow? You put it on credit because you don't have enough money.
But I'm trying to get to the point that I have money.
Trying. Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I went
if
and I
we're
looked at-
trying,
I
that
went and I
means the
looked
math
at-
doesn't exist. That means if it was all on debit last month because we tried,
Well, I went and
we
looked at
would
all
have
of
cash
it, and I
flowed.
looked at the minimum payments, and I looked at the interest rates, and I tried to just add up a little
And
bit
then
extra.
you didn't look at your spending because it was $1,000 more than came in.
No, I did not look at my spending. I was trying to look at how
If
I
we're
could
gonna
get
look
rid
at
of all
things,
of
maybe
this.
we look at our spending. Maybe we look at a budget. Maybe you build a budget.
I mean, I've just never successfully built a budget.
What does that mean?
So like I've tried to do some budgeting. I've tried a couple different routes and avenues for budgeting, and
What?
I've just seemingly have always gotten the numbers often wrong. So I tried some budgeting apps, and the budgeting apps I couldn't get them to sync up with my bank in a way that it
Why?
would actually like zero out at the end. So we've got military banking because of military, and they don't like to work with the apps. So then I went to paper, just writing everything out, doing a weekly budget. When I got to that point, my weekly budget wouldn't match up with what was actually coming out of the accounts. So then I tried to go and through and edit. Now I do a bi-weekly budget where my husband and I
You can also
sit
switch
down.
away from the military accounts. I mean, listen, I'll give you a simpler budget premium for free forever because you're guests on the show. We're switching to a new payment system on the back end, no longer Plaid. It's a payment system that includes all the other payment systems. It's a balloon one. So I would actually be surprised if the military ones don't work with that, because I don't think any other budgeting app, as far as I know, is using what we use, and we're doing it so that everyone can connect every account. Because again, my goal is to make this the best budgeting app ever. So you get it for free. You get it for free. Husband gets it for free. You guys get a free week trial. And for those who sign up for the annual version, you get the simpler budget Founders Edition notebook signed by me, mailed directly to you. So make sure to check out the Simpler Budget app in the App Store or Google Play Store now. But okay, so not looking at budget because we just never figured out how to make the budget work with your banking system, I guess.
I mean, I tried the paper budget, and it just wasn't lining up with what was actually coming out of the account consistently. So that's where I got into some sticky situations. Plus, like, we want to go out, we want to have fun, we want to do things.
Okay, well, that's different. That's
like everyone
different.
else, like everyone else wants to do.
If you budget, you're putting that in. That's, I mean, that all of a sudden it doesn't mean a budget doesn't exist. What are you talking about? Guys, I just wanted to say an extra thank you for making Simpler Budget an incredibly popular app. I wasn't expecting it, but we literally get like thousands of downloads a day. And a lot of you are actually changing your financial future, and we've been hearing from you. So thank you all for supporting us. We just wanted to continue to say thank you and give people the opportunity to try out the app. So we still have a 2-week free trial in there for the premium version. And of course, everyone that signs up for an annual version, at least for this next quarter, will get a Founders Edition Simpler Budget notebook, and it is signed by me, sent directly to you. So that's a special thank you for putting your trust in us to create an amazing budgeting app. And let me tell you, the features that we're going to release throughout this next year are about to be crazy. I'm going to make this the best budgeting app that has ever existed. Seriously, download Simpler Budget now. It's incredible. The time to take control of your finances is literally right now. And as an extra limited time only bonus, I will give you a signed version of my budget-friendly cookbook for free when you sign up for Simpler Budget Premium Annual.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, like, what does that budget actually need to look like? So, like, I've really cut back on, like, a couple
Need
things.
to look like for what?
For,
With
like,
what goal, what
for, like,
intention?
what am I wanting to do for fun?
What are you wanting to do?
Like, every so often
How
I
much
want to
you
go
want to
out. I
spend
want
on
to go
fun?
hang out with the girls.
How much you
Like,
want to spend on fun?
I mean, I would like to spend, like, maybe $100 on fun.
Even though you have
every,
about
like,
80,000
2
hours
weeks.
of really horrendous, bad, high-interest debt?
Well, I mean, not right now. I want to get rid of this first, but, like, I would like
Well,
to get to
then
a
what
point where
is the
I can,
point?
like, go out and have fun.
So then why would we need to put that in the budget now?
I mean, maybe not right now, but, like, later.
Yeah, there was $727 of going out to eat.
Really?
Yeah, how much do you think was spent on miscellaneous bullshit? That could be video games, it could be whatever. We're about to find out, but it's literally miscellaneous bullshit.
I mean, this
No.
one,
How much? In the most recent month, savings that we have. How much?
I'm going to say $1,500.
Okay. Yeah, $1,900.
Okay. A little closer on that one.
What are you talking about? That's almost $2,000.
I mean, it's not what I want, but it was my birthday month. I was trying to like go out and myself a little bit.
Military man, shoot this woman. What is happening? Birthday month. What are we on? What is this? Is this a new invention that people are just doing?
I told myself I was going to be like really good leading up to my birthday month. I was going to cut back on my spending, and then for my birthday month, I could like kind of treat myself.
For a month, maybe for the birthday. Not even the birthday week, the birthday fucking month. The birthday.
Well, I've got some like different friend groups, and they want to like go out this weekend.
You're gonna destroy your life for 1 out of 12 months.
Well, no, but like my one friend group wanted to do this. I have a different friend group that wanted to do that. Like
cool,
I just had like this weekend here, this weekend there.
Your birthday.
Well, I'm not gonna expect people to pay for me.
Not expect, but maybe they should.
Like I got to be able to at least afford my own if I'm gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, then you can't afford it, so you don't go. You spend $1,000 more than you make. $80,000 are really horrendous bad debt. Need to move. Might have an equity position, might not. IRS payment coming up. Need to have an elective surgery. Can't pay for that. Definitely don't have an emergency fund because we got to pay for all those things and we literally cannot. So what the f*** are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. That on that priority list of everything I just named, which was like 4 or 5 things, birthday month is under an emergency fund?
I mean, yes. when you start laying it out,
elective surgery, yeah, under. I guess it depends on what it is, but even still, probably under needing to move, yeah, under having to pay our taxes, you better fucking betcha.
Oh no, I'm paying my taxes. I'm not trying to get messed up with the IRS.
Yeah,
like that.
we'll fucking find out if you do or can. Listen, $281 alone on this.
I know it hurts. It hurts every month when it comes out.
It hurts every month, but I'm going to purchase on it still so my balance doesn't go down as quick. What do you mean? That does not line up. That does not line up. That mindset is broken. It was my birthday month. It hurts, but it's my birthday month, so allow me to destroy my life. What are you talking about? This is borderline maxed out. It is so close.
Well, I did call them and I had them drop the like amount that I could spend.
Well, you have to do that forever because you have no self-control?
If that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. You know, it was at $20,000 at one point. It's down to like almost 11 right now. Like it's, if I got to call every month and have them drop it, I'll call every month and have them drop it.
Dude, okay. It's at a 34.15% interest rate.
Yep.
That's insane.
Oh, it's disgusting.
That's insane.
This is the biggest one. Like if I could get rid of this, I would feel like a huge weight off my shoulders.
That's fucking crazy. What is your plan for this code? Because you just...
Well, I was trying to do like the snowball method when I started like really like looking into debt stuff. I was just going to snowball it. So like this would be...
It was a gym.
Oh, yeah,
get your gym subscription off of a credit card that is accruing 30, almost 5% interest.
Well, I tried to cancel my gym membership, but it was going to be $500 to get out of the contract.
Just get it to a different payment account that is not 35% interest. That's all I'm saying. At a minimum, that is your starting point. Yes, probably cancel it, but I support gym. Put gym in budget. I always put gym, mental health in budget. Absolutely. But not on a 35% interest credit card.
I mean, okay, yeah, I'll put it on a different credit card then.
So what are you even spending in your birthday month?
Well, I mean, like I got myself a hairdryer and like a diffuser.
Okay.
Because I haven't owned like a hairdryer in like a year.
Really? You didn't have a hairdryer?
No, my hairdryer crapped out like a year ago, and I didn't want to like buy a new one because I wanted a nice one. So like I figured I'd wait up.
So we waited until we couldn't afford it, but it was still our birthday.
So like that was my birthday gift to myself. I was gonna get a hairdryer with a nice diffuser. That way my hair looked good. You know, it was only like $200 for what I wanted. So I went with that one. And this one will last me.
That's it?
10 years.
That was your entire birthday month.
That was that. And then I also, I went to this, resale store for, books and stuff, and I got a couple books. I got, a Wii. I got some video games for that.
Oh, Wii?
Yeah, I wanted to play Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah, sure. People play that on Switches. Oh, Wii?
It was cheaper to buy a Wii. It was much cheaper to buy a Wii.
You're not getting new games.
Well, no, I was just getting some old games that I liked from when I was younger. And then I went to the vape store and I kind of splurged at the vape store a little bit.
You splurged at the vape store.
Well,
what the does that even mean?
So
what does splurging
when we get to the surgery date, there's no more smoking or anything after that. So I was gonna get my couple of vapes and things, and then I was gonna ride those out.
Get off of an addiction.
I was gonna ride those out until then, and then I was gonna be done.
That's not how an addiction works. You don't ramp up to the cutoff.
Well, you know,
No, I don't.
You've got a point. You've got a point. You've got a very big point there. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. And, I'm down to just one vape. And when that vape's gone, I'm done.
I don't even know what one vape equals. But I guess it doesn't matter to pay all this off if we're just going to die from f***ing chemicals in our lungs.
I mean, I've got life insurance. That'll pay for the rest of this.
You'd have to be dead.
Yeah, won't be my problem then.
That's a horribly immature worldview. Okay. Amazon, I'm sure that's what you need access to.
No, Amazon got me.
Okay, Amazon, we owe $960. The balance went up on this. $965.11.
My back doorknob fell off, and I didn't realize that my Amazon card was still kind of attached to my Amazon account, so I ordered that. I had to get some new filters.
These fees? What are these fees? You got fee filters? Filter fees?
Oh, no, I got filters for the house.
Then what are these fees? $33 minimum monthly payment. What is this fee possibly? Interest, fees, purchases, balance up.
It could have been a late
What are
payment
the fees?
from where...
What are the fees?
It could have been a late payment from where my card got messed around and...
Mess around? What the f*** does that even mean?
Well, I had to get a new debit card number, so I had to set everything up correctly.
Debit card number wouldn't make... That doesn't matter.
My debit card someone got into it. I had to get a new one.
That's great.
I had to get a
Connect
new
your bank
and
account.
everything.
You didn't need a f***ing debit card number, though.
Oh.
A link a bank
when I'm
account?
going in there and I'm paying it, it's use this debit card.
You didn't look to see if there was potentially another option instead of getting a late fee.
I fixed it since then.
I don't even know what is I fixed it.
Well, I went through and I made sure it's set up to the right one now, so it's not going to happen again.
Until it does, though, because you looked for no solution. You just accepted it. Oh,
But
I'm
it's
going to have a late
happened,
fee.
and
Yes, it's...
I'm going to grow from that. I'm going to make sure I don't have another
I
one.
hope so. I feel like a lot of the people that never grow from things are the ones who say, I'm going to grow from that.
Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. I've experienced
the
it.
plan.
I've experienced it. I know what happened. I know what I do next time.
You didn't until I just told you 3 seconds ago.
I didn't realize I could set up a routing number like that. But
Then
I
what
mean,
the f- would you have done
I put the right
different?
card on there, and next time I'm going to make sure the right card's being used each time.
What? But you didn't have a card, you said. So how could you have a right card?
I make sure the right one's on there.
Oh my, that's not an answer. That
Well,
is
when you
not
go
an
in and you're
answer.
in the little portal and you're looking through everything and it's
I
use
get
this
it,
card,
but
I'm going to make sure I'm picking the right one.
If I didn't just tell you that, if your card got messed around with again, you would have just allowed a late payment.
Well, I did this once. I got a late payment once. I'm going to go in and I'm going to double check next time.
That is not what I am saying. I'm not pushing back against that. I'm pushing back against you would have just allowed this to happen again if I didn't just tell you the solution. Which means your mindset's not in a great place.
I have a lot of stress on my finances right now.
But you make
and
it
it's
worse by not problem solving things. I'm confused. Okay. So what are you doing on here with this Amazon card? And it's Amazon, of course.
My back doorknob fell off, so I had to get a back doorknob, and then I had to
Sure.
get filters for the house.
Okay,
and
show me your Amazon account. Let's see. I don't even know what the credit limit on this is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was 1,000 and you were basically maxed out again. Also, no, liar! 2 fees this year so far. By the way, there's only 2 months of fucking statements on here. Liar!
Well, then I don't know what the other fee is.
For f***'s sake. It happened once. We're learning our lesson. No, you didn't!
My car got messed with. That's what I went in for.
Fee! You didn't even know about another fee. It's a lie.
I did not know there was another fee.
Oh my.
If I knew there was another fee, I would have told you that.
you that to fix this.
Well, if I knew there was another fee, I would have told you that.
But that
Why would
means
I- why would I lie about that
That just means
intentionally?
I cannot trust that you will not go down that road. I don't think you can have credit cards. You are not responsible enough to have credit cards. You can't use other people's money. You cannot have the control of automatic payments. You are not.
I mean, I will agree with you. I am not a credit card person.
Then
I don't want them. I don't need them.
We've looked at 2 credit cards so far. You've purchased on both.
One of them has a membership on it, like a regular subscription. I wasn't buying
Of
anything
which
else on
we
there.
would move away from it.
Yes.
Typically,
I mean, yes, I will when I leave here.
huh?
I'll
When you
move it
leave
off
here,
of
not
there.
before you. Let's talk about a tool that pulls Thanos snap on your bloated software stack.
High Level. If you're juggling a separate CRM, funnel builder, email marketing service, text platform, and appointment scheduler, you're probably spending hundreds a month and half of your sanity. High Level merges all of that into one login. Seriously, build sales funnels, automate follow-ups with emails and texts, schedule appointments, manage your leads, because it's all there. Imagine canceling 4 or 5 subscriptions overnight, instantly trimming your overhead. Plus, it's got a visual campaign builder so you can see every lead's journey. You want to send a text after someone books a call or trigger an email if they don't show up? One click, done. And here's the best part. I've teamed up with them to give you an exclusive 30-day free trial, double than the usual. So if you're fed up with software chaos, this is your sign. Jump on High Level, consolidate your toolkit, and watch your monthly bills shrink.
The f*** is this?
What
is this?
What is what?
Baby Delight.
Oh, my
Alpine.
best friend is about to have a baby.
Congratulations
so
to them.
That was her
Hopefully
baby
they can
shower
cash flow,
gift.
but you have $80,000 of bad debt and can't afford even your
I
fucking
want to get
taxes.
out of my debit card.
Shh, taxes. That is still money that could have gone towards debt or could have gone towards taxes. You can't pay for taxes. You can't pay for the surgery. You can't pay for any of the things you need to do. Okay, then fuck off. Rolled cones.
Nice.
We're getting rolled cones and rolled cones and rolled cones. We're getting rolled cones.
A lot of those got returned.
100-pack rolled.
A lot of those got returned. It was on some weird subscription thing. It got canceled. They got returned.
Dude, I don't think the ones I'm seeing have been returned.
I know they've been returned because I drove all the way to a Whole Foods
Maybe
to
they
have to
haven't
return
been
them.
processed yet, but
It might not
these
have,
are
but I
marked
know
as
I
just
drove
delivered.
all the way out of my way
Got
to return
some
these.
car fluids of some kind. Ordinary airline solution. MicroPro charger. Bike lock. Advil. Sharpies.
Kinda sick.
Lots of yogurt or humidity. What is this? Humidity absorbers.
Okay, it gets really humid down in Tennessee, and we have some like water at the end of our property, so like there's just moisture everywhere. I was trying to get a little bit of that out of the
Sticky
air.
notes. There's the door handle. The thing you brought up. That's the only thing you brought up, and it was like 50 purchases down. There's some returns for a different type of stuff, but still the cones or whatever you ordered, there were 3 boxes of 100. I mean, it's not all horrible. It's just, do we have to be purchasing these right now? I don't know. I don't think so.
Well,
I don't necessarily think so.
I just had to go to Oklahoma. Well, I didn't have to. I just went to Oklahoma for my best friend's
There you
baby
go.
shower. I wanted to have a gift when I got there.
I get it. How much was that?
I mean, the traveling down there was about $300, and
How
then
much
like
was the gift?
the gift was $89 with some taxes, like $95. So not terrible. It's definitely the cheapest gift she got by
Spent
far.
$1,000 more than you make on a monthly basis, and you can't pay your IRS debt.
And then we
Future
went shopping
IRS
and we got some food, and
Okay, here's another. This is Synchrony, but just Synchrony Classic. Okay. On here, you owe $2,000.
oh, then that's the American Eagle one. So that's what I was getting a lot of my
What
clothes
are you, a
on.
12-year-old twink?
No, that was what I was getting a lot of my clothes on back when I was working at my old job and I was having to buy clothes regularly. I would get jeans and basics like that so that I had just simple things to wear with the work required items. You had to be on trend. You had to be in fashion. We had this whole
What the f*** are you
weekly
talking
check-in.
about? They're telling me you've bought clothes out in Oklahoma and mailed them home.
Well, yeah, we went to the Goodwill bins.
That's not what you're saying, though.
Well, no, not on this one. I didn't put those on this one. This is from when I used to work at my other job and I had to regularly be up to date in fashion trends. That's what that is.
How long does this take to pay off the $2,000? Just minimum payments without any purchases, which you're incapable of that exact thing.
7 years, 7 to 9 years.
10 years.
Okay.
10 years, you'll be in your mid-30s.
Yeah.
By the time your past work Victoria's Secret clothes
I know,
has
still
been
paying
paid
for it.
off.
So, and then there's that. And then I went to Oklahoma to visit my friend for a baby shower. They are right. I did have to mail clothes home. We went to the Goodwill bins. I went a little crazy at the Goodwill bins. Got 9 pounds worth of clothes, shipping them home.
What?
Yeah, it's $1 a pound.
I think you have an addiction to just clothes. I think you are allowing whatever.
I've never been to a Goodwill bin.
Whatever work requirements were required, which I'm sure there were some, I think you use that as an excuse to do more than you actually needed to do.
I definitely
you
felt
went into debt for it. For
I definitely
sake.
felt intensely pressured to constantly spend money on clothes. Yeah, so
By
I was
who?
constantly spending by my bosses, by the people I was working with. We were party girls. We were always going out. We had to have clothes for going
That's
out.
not for work. That's not for work.
Those were my work people, and we'd still
But
wear
that's
that
not
to work.
for work.
And I'd still have to buy things for work. I had to have my for work. I had to have my hair done for work. Like it was a whole you had a
Going out
uniform
is not
head to
work,
toe.
though. I need to make that
Well, no,
clear.
but I'm saying I also spent money on clothes going
yes,
out.
but this entire time you framed it as you had to do it for your job.
The bulk of it was for my job.
But
yes.
you.
And then there's the side part of it where like
Listen, if you're going in
was doing these
debt
things.
and you can't fully pay it off from your debt, from your income from that job, but you're going into debt in order to be able to do that job, we're not working that job. And I would think that
I'm out of that job now.
Huh?
And I'm out of that job
Yeah, but
now.
no one would be working at Victoria's Secret if that was 100% true. If they had to spend more on their clothing than they get paid.
I probably could have done it in a cheaper way. But I'm feeling
You're
all this
making it
pressure.
sound like you had to do this.
I did. I was getting dress coded regularly. I almost lost my job over my hair one
Maybe
time.
you should have. Hair is different. You're saying you had to go purchase like 1,000 new outfits constantly.
Yeah, and I did. We had monthly things that we were like, hey, like this is your monthly check-in. Like these are your new items that you've got to have.
On here alone, $47.37 of interest. Thank no fees this time. 11 years to pay off, so 37 years old. 30.24% interest. When was the last time when did you stop purchasing on this card?
This card I stopped purchasing on 2 years ago.
You haven't had a single purchase in 2 years.
Not a single purchase in 2 years. It was a much higher balance. It was a much higher available balance. And I did call them and I had them close the balance down so that it wouldn't be like a temptation to spend.
No, you don't still spend money on clothing for work?
Not as much, no.
Not as much?
No, like I still buy clothes from time to time.
But is it for work?
Yeah, but not like
What?
my work is not making me buy clothes right now by any means. But every so often, like I want to get a new
No,
outfit.
you're a clothes addict. You sent home pounds, 9 pounds of clothing.
Yes.
Even if it was cheap, it is clearly demonstrating how you do it.
I mean, I like to be on top of the fashion trends. I like to buy clothes. Yes,
You like
I like to buy
but
clothes.
you have $80,000 of bad debt, and you can't do the fucking massive list of things that we've talked about. I'm not going to repeat them again because it's insane. Clothing, sure, fun. Take care of yourself first, for fuck's sake. So surgery for you or the husband?
Husband.
Okay, and you're prioritizing you having better fashion than their surgery?
No, because
Great, that is what you're actually doing in your behavior, whether you're consciously just saying that or not.
it wasn't all clothes for me. Out of that 9 pounds, wasn't being fully selfish. I
You
did
don't
buy
like
a lot of things
collect
for myself.
clothes within that fashion trend, because I know lots of people do that.
I do like to collect clothes. I like to collect
You
jewelry and
collect.
things like that. I mean, I work in the jewelry industry, so like I have a pretty extensive jewelry collection.
What's it worth today if you sold it?
Probably about like $30,000 in jewelry.
Way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
way.
selling that shit.
No, a lot of it was gifted to me, so a
don't
lot of it
care-
I
I
didn't
don't
spend
care.
money on.
I don't care.
Also, some of it, like, you can't just like resell body jewelry. That's gross. It has biomatter on it. You can't just
Body
like
jewelry? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. The
can't just, like, sell
Whatever
that.
we can sell, we're selling, though. I mean, that's going to be a part of a debt payoff journey. It is.
I mean, I've got some necklaces and bracelets and things that I could get rid
Whatever
of.
we can sell, we're selling.
Okay.
$30,000.
Yes, a lot of it was gifted. A lot of it was gifted.
How much?
So I would say probably like 20,000 of that was in gifts.
Okay.
So like my grandma has a lot of like heirloom items she's given me. There's things
Heirlooms
like
is
that.
hard. I don't necessarily say
So like that's
sell
part of my
heirlooms.
collection. You know, things like that. Like it's not all like I'm not swiping the card for all my jewelry, but I do have a pretty extensive jewelry collection.
Okay, Navy Federal.
Yeah.
There's the military thing.
Yippee.
You owe on this $5,677.92. 87 hours of interest accrued. Minimum monthly payment was made. Minimum monthly payment is $143.57. What's up with this?
Well, that is husband's card. That's not my card.
So you guys are both.
We both have
Do you guys
debt.
sit down and talk about money?
Yes, once every 2 weeks,
And
the day
you
before
both sit down and
payday,
say,
we do
how
a
do we destroy
budget.
our lives?
So we've
Let's
sat
do
down and
it.
budgeted. We've gone through. We like listed out everything in like order of like most expensive to least expensive. Like we've gone through and tried to like figure out the snowball method. I just can't.
But that is the easiest thing to figure out. We can figure that out in 5 seconds. It's
Yeah.
actually
So I, like-
executing.
so I
and
listed it,
Yeah, but
and I'm-
no. But that's what you guys are. Is you guys make the list, but you never follow it. Why don't you guys follow? Why don't you guys hold each other accountable together?
We're working on following it. So we're working on
No,
that
you're
accountability
not.
aspect.
Look at where you are.
So like we're
You
doing
spent $1,000 more than you made. You're not working. That is incorrect. You are not going to sway this conversation like
we're doing
that.
these regular check-ins. They might not be working, but we're trying to do
Then,
them.
if something's not working, do we continue doing it over and
No,
over
but
again?
that's why we've kept changing the method. Like, so we keep
So
switching
what's
up
the
kind of
new
what we're
method?
doing. So like right now we're doing a more weekly check-in instead of a bi-weekly because we noticed that we're not ending
Tell me how they
on
go.
track with the budget.
Tell me how they go.
So we sit down and while we're eating dinner, we pull up all the things that we have to pay and we pull up our bank statement and we go line by line and look at it and we try to figure out where did we f up and where do we need to fix it in the future. And then we start holding that accountability. So like, hey, like I'm going to spend money and I'm going to go out to eat because I'm in Austin, Texas right now. So like we're telling each other what we're spending as we're spending it. And I think that's holding a little more accountability than before.
On what we're spending. No. Why are we're just telling each other where we're spending money? We're not sitting down and establishing where money should go for the household.
Well, we're talking about when we're spending so that
need
we
to
know when we
reset.
don't need to spend the money.
We need to reset. That is not how we do
Reset
it.
how though?
Use
Like
again
what-
the fucking budgeting app, and you assign where. What?
The budgeting app doesn't let my bank account in there.
This one, once we do our switch, might.
Okay.
But either
That's the
way,
case, it's different.
even if it's on a spreadsheet, which is obviously much more manual because that's automatic connections. But even still, actually, you could do the fucking manual things on this version as well if you really wanted to. So you could still do a digital version without the automatic connections. Obviously, the automatic connections is more fucking. Here's the Founders Edition notebook, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to give you.
Beautiful.
So you will journal that and you will bring it back for your follow up, and I'll read it. But either way, you assign where your money goes. That is it. You and him assign where the household money goes, and that's where spending can go. And then you address it in the monthly sit down and then adjust the budget. You don't come back later and say, hey, I spent this on this. That you're not going to get anywhere with that. And that ends up to spending $1,000 more than we make on a monthly basis.
Well, that's why we're doing the weekly check-in. So like we're checking on the week, making sure all the budgets come.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I'm trying
It's so
to.
stupid. So what was spent on this card?
This
That's
one
borderline maxed
was-
out as well.
That one was some bills and things like that back whenever husband had like lost a job, broken his foot, couldn't work for a substantial period of time. So that was putting some bills on there. That was going out to eat a couple of times. That was some things like that. That was from like 3 years ago though, when the spending habits
Why is
weren't
this
as
so
like
close to max out then?
fees and things.
Fees.
We've-
Fees is from late payments.
Well, we've missed some payments on that one.
Why?
That was like last year we missed some payments on it.
Why?
We were having some issues where people were getting into our cards like very regularly. They were getting into our debit cards. We were constantly having to switch those over to new cards.
What was happening? How are people getting into your f***ing accounts?
Well, we would, go out to eat and then someone would get our card number.
Constantly?
Constantly. The Zaxby's right next to my workplace has
Get
my
moved
card
from
information like
Knoxville.
4 people.
What is happening
like it's
there?
happened multiple times after going to Zaxby's of all places.
Well, it's because you went to f***ing Zaxby's.
They're right next to my work. I don't have to drive anywhere.
So is anything else on this card? I mean, there were no purchases, but are there subscriptions or anything?
No, not on that one.
18% interest rate.
It's better than the other ones at least.
Yeah, sure. Doesn't really matter though. Okay, Capital One Saver card.
That is husband's as well.
Do you ever look over them?
Yes, we look over each other's. That's
But
a
you
newer.
don't
That's a
assign
newer
where
thing. That's a
spending
newer
can
thing we're
go.
doing.
But you don't assign where spending can go.
Well, we're working on reeling that in and figuring that out. That's what the weekly check-ins are for. Is for like, hey, like we have assigned ourselves this fun money for like going out to eat.
You guys think you can have fun money?
I mean, we're trying to use that as like when we don't take lunch to work, we use the fun
Why
money.
don't you take lunch to work?
There's some days where we just don't have time to cook. I'm
Meal
working 2
prep.
jobs. We do. We meal prep regularly every like
Then
Sunday
there you go.
night.
There should be no issue then.
That boy eats. That boy eats.
Put him
like,
on a diet. I don't know. What are you talking
It's
about?
bulking season. So that boy's eating. So like a pint of ice cream a day. It's insane.
Then meal prep the
We meal prep, but like we just don't always get back to the Sunday routine. Sometimes there's like extra homework and things that just throws off our week. And then actively in school. He's going for a PhD.
Oh, I thought he wasn't in it.
No, actively in school. Plus, like I don't cook, so that's.
Cook that. Use the cookbook that comes with the budget app. It's so easy.
I just literally don't know how to cook.
Follow the instructions.
I don't think like I burn water.
Dude, you're f***ing then and can't be allowed to operate a car if you can't boil water. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you can't figure out how to fucking use a stove, I don't want you around a multi-ton vehicle.
I mean, I can cook like your most simple basic things, but like
Well,
I can't cook a
do that!
whole meal. Like I can't come out of here with like a balanced diet if I'm cooking for myself. I'm making every other night.
Excuse. You're never going to do anything in your life. Listen, $90.10 of purchases on here with $23.14 of interest. You okay with it? It's your security system in Spotify.
That makes sense.
But why is it on a card that is accruing interest that we are not paying off?
Because I can't confidently move these things to my debit card because I still have to pay my credit card payments. And at the end of every budget, I still come out at zero.
You can't afford these things. Can't afford the $7.15 going out to eat if you're not confident enough to put your subscriptions that you need in your checking account. You can't afford going out to eat then.
Okay.
This is pretty basic shit.
This is for my birthday. Like, this was like me going out for my birthday.
Oh, yeah, ADT. That's for my birthday.
Well, no, ADT's not my birthday, but like the going out to eat, that was like from my birthday. Like I went out with a couple different groups of people for my birthday.
The rest of my year, I will never understand. I can't get there. I can't get there. I'll never understand.
I mean, I had groups of friends. They wanted to do things. I wanted to do.
Man.
You know, like it's not something I'm like planning on doing every single month.
29.74% interest rate. Quicksilver.
So that actually used to be a Walmart
so much
card.
To go through. Okay, $1,882.02.
So that was a Walmart card. That wasn't always a Quicksilver. They just recently switched that over.
And there's fees. There are fees.
I told you they got into my card. I had to switch everything around. I messed up a couple of them. I'm taking the L on that one. That was for groceries. There was some times where we just couldn't afford groceries.
$47 of interest, $39 of fees, $49.15 of purchases. I don't even know. Also, another 11 years to pay off. No, it's for the vet.
Yes. So we have 5 pets. We have pet insurance on all of them.
What are they? Oh,
so I have 4
dogs?
cats and a dog.
Okay.
And then the pet insurance, one of them comes out of there. The rest of them come out on another one. And we're slowly switching them over to our debit card. So I think I have like 2 of them on my debit card right now.
And then, yes, it's a past due fee.
Yeah, it's a past due fee. I messed up. I've got the cards in the right order now. We should be good.
But I don't believe that you'll be good. Look at it. You paid off that 3 times. Look where you are. All
But
your
this time I'm
excuses,
like,
birthday month.
this time I'm working on it though. Like this time I'm working for it.
That requires so much trust that I do not have based on your life experiences, based on what you have done, based on what you've brought here and the actions in the most recent month. How the can I just walk away and be like, oh, okay, you're right. You're just working on it. That doesn't make sense. That is not how this is going to work.
You know, I splurged 1 month. I'm not going to splurge every month.
You can't take a statement without having to have a, but.
Well, I want to give you the explanation for it.
Your explanation's stupid. 28.99% interest rate. Regular Capital One.
So that one's mine. That was my second credit card ever.
$785,084 with your household income. Should be able to just get taken care of like that. Minimum monthly payment was
Love
made.
that.
$18. What?
I would love to do it like that.
Then do it.
Okay.
You purchased that much going out to eat almost. You could have.
Well, maybe next month I will.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying not to hit you with the butts that you were asking me to stop using.
$26 a month is your minimum monthly payment with $18.51 of interest. What's up with this card?
Well, with this card, I'm paying more than the minimum. I'm paying $50 a month on it, trying to get it down a little quicker so that I can just pay it in a lump sum here soon. With this one, it was my second ever credit card. It was originally for school books and things like that. I was using it to pay off with the reimbursement checks, and then it slowly became clothes shopping. Surprise, surprise. I know.
See, it's not work. You can't blame it on that. That wasn't your past work. It's not your current work. Taquito! There's a YouTube membership right here, too! Whose YouTube membership are you possibly subscribing to?
I'm actually a Hammer Elite member.
Oh,
Okay. The one where you get to see brand new content every single day, access to 2 exclusive financial audits every single month, and access to our official brand new call-in show, Hammer It Out. Weekly live streams. You ready?
I'm so scared.
And extra behind-the-scenes content.
Are you really doing an ad read?
Well, Hammer Elite is the #1 YouTube membership community with over thousands of hours of content.
It's literally all I watch when I get home from work.
Make sure to join Hammer Elite now for the biggest membership content library on YouTube. See you inside.
So my current work, my past work did get me in a really bad headspace with buying clothes, and I'm recovering from that. I have a lot of
I
addiction
don't think
tendencies.
it was the work. I think it was the people around you.
Probably. I have a lot of addiction tendencies. Shopping is not my only one, you know. I also
Well,
like
you
to smoke
vape
and
like
things
crazy.
like that. So like
You what?
I also like to smoke. I vape. You know, like it's not the only addiction I have in my life. So, you know, with some therapy, we're overcoming some addictions, and
Maybe, but also no, because that hasn't changed. You just did the Goodwill hounds, and you're vaping now.
well, that was on a vacation situation.
Oh my gosh, there's no I can't even, I don't know how to describe you. It's just like, you just say incorrect information and then you're just like, but, and then it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to have a little excuse that excuses all of it.
I feel like if I can justify it, then it's going to be okay. So I look for a justification.
So you can do anything on vacation.
I mean, I can't just do anything.
Then why does that make it okay?
Well, if I can justify it, then it is okay.
But you're only justifying it because you were on vacation.
Yeah, like there's no Goodwill bin at home. It's not like I can do this every other day. Like it was an experience. It was something that I've never done before, never seen before.
Can't have Oklahoma fucking heroin every day.
Exactly. You know, like
So that would be okay.
well, not heroin. Heroin's god awful for you. I've seen some effects of some pretty heavy drug use. Like that's not something I'm trying to go down. I'm trying to handle these like tiny addictions now, so I don't end up down that
Any
road.
addictions, you're $80,000 in bad debt, and you can't make the payment of the 4 major things we talked about. Your addictions have led you down that road, and you're not actually changing them.
You know,
You're one of the people that's like in therapy, and you think because you're in therapy, you're changing, but you're not putting in the actual action that's
I've
required to
only
change.
recently started therapy, so, and that's what's even gotten me
I
on
don't
the
think you're
kick to like
capable
try
of
new
having
things.
a reasonable conversation. 26.74% interest rate. Okay, Firestone Classic.
So we had some car issues come up. There was Yeah, well, you know, there's some
What?
traveling for military schools, you know, going to Missouri and things like that. And one of the guys in the unit got stuck in a ditch, and my husband decided to try to help him out of the ditch, tore up the back axle on the old car, completely
You're past due on this one as well.
shredded it up.
Look at me, it's 3 now. 3.
I told you I had that little hiccup with everything.
I've heard. But then, of course, we went on that other credit card, and it was a couple months in a row. So not just a little hiccup.
I mean, I can't justify it anymore. You don't want to hear the justifications. So
No So $32 a month normally. I want a real answer. I want acceptance. It's not about having to justify. $768.57 is your balance on here. So again, fees, interest. What is up with this card?
this card is getting paid down actively. We're not spending on it. We don't have any major car repairs coming up. We're doing regular maintenance on our cars to avoid this card ever being used
It's getting
again.
paid down, by the way. Payment, $0. Okay, why? So it was the friend. What was the purchase? How much was it and when?
We maxed it out. We went
They
to,
couldn't purchase?
so it messed up our car, not their car.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So we had to repair our car. There was no insurance to assist with it because it was like a voluntary trying to help somebody else out of a situation instead of waiting on like a tow truck out in the middle of nowhere. So with that, it messed up our car. We had to pay for that on our own. We opened up the Firestone card because we didn't have an emergency fund. We didn't have any savings at the time. Put it on there and
28.8% interest rate.
I'm trying to pay it
When
down.
was it?
This was like 2 years ago.
Okay, come on.
So, I mean, this wasn't too terribly long ago, but it was like almost $2,000 worth of car work.
Emergency fund instead of fun.
That'd be nice.
For things like this, that'd be nice. You would have had it if you prioritized it. You didn't. You didn't put in the action. You think things just happen. You think they just come. Okay, Nissan Rogue Sport.
Yeah, so that is our new car.
You have a new car and we're
Not
talking
by
about all this
choice. By choice, not by
What do you mean
choice,
not by choice? What do you mean not by choice? It was your choice to get the price you did.
I wouldn't even say that. So
Price of the car, I would. You probably went to what? 2 dealerships max?
no, I went to 4
4.
dealerships, and there's only
Okay.
really like 4 in town. So
Go to
with
the
that,
next town.
So with that, about October, husband works at a bar, is coming home around 5, 6 a.m. from the bar, gets into a hit and run accident, totals our vehicle.
Did you have insurance? Did you have gap
We
insurance?
had
What did
insurance.
have?
We did not have gap insurance. Our insurance denied our claim, so there was
Why?
no money coming out of it. I've gotten in touch with an insurance lawyer, and I have still yet to get a solid answer on any of that. Our insurance should have covered it. They are not. They're denying all of our claims. I'm been actively
The
trying to
reasoning
fight
they
with them.
say?
They say that our insurance doesn't cover the fact that it was a hit and run and we got no plates or anything on the person. There's no cameras or anything there. People just rolled up to the scene to a flipped vehicle. So there was nothing there to help us
Well, it's
with
like
our
around
case.
$15,000 it's worth.
So originally the car was $12,000 when we
You had to
bought
roll
it.
over.
Well, no, we ended up just taking the savings that we did have and paying off my car, which there was only about $3,500 owed on my car, so that we could take out another car loan. So I got this car under the assumption that it was like $12,000, and then I got a bill for $22,000.
What the f*** are you talking about?
I'd also like to know, because I've gone down to the
No.
dealership, I've called the bank, I've even gotten in touch with a lawyer because there's paperwork with my name on it with incorrect numbers on it.
Well, there you go. Then get in touch with a lawyer, but I'm also having a hard time believing you.
I have been on the
what's
phone
actually
nonstop with these
happening.
people. I've gone down there.
Yeah, but
the
a lawyer
original
doesn't
paperwork that I'm sent home with even says $12,000, and everything that the bank has says $22,000 on it.
Did you bring that paperwork?
I even took it to the lawyer.
No, did you bring it here?
Did I bring it here? No, I did not bring it
Well,
here.
why? We're talking.
Well, I was traveling to see friends and things like that. I didn't. That was the last thing on my mind.
Okay. So how much did you put down on the car?
We put $1,500 down on the car.
Okay, so you guys hit an extra $1,500.
That pretty much wiped everything from our bank account.
I'm being told you had to ask friends and family for help to put down money.
Yes. So we paid off
So
my
if
car.
I didn't know that because I have people in my corner here, you would have just lied and allowed that to just coast.
Was it a lie? Because you didn't ask.
I asked how much did you put down,
And I told you I put down 15.
and I said, so you had $15,000.
And it wiped
You
our bank account after I
didn't.
dropped it in.
You were given money.
We did a GoFundMe.
See, that is different. I see. This is why I cannot trust you. I can't trust you with that price tag of the car and the contract and stuff. Look how you look. If I don't ask a very specific, it's like if he ever wants to know if you've cheated on him, he has to like ask if you've cheated in a certain sexual position with a very specific individual person for you to say yes.
No, 'cause
that
I'm
would
not a
be the
cheater.
only way for you to admit something. You have to have like it has to be the absolute.
Well, I'm trying to answer your questions. I'm trying not to justify things because you don't want justifications. You don't want
That's
the
not
buts.
justification. It's saying you had money from other people. What are you talking about?
I was giving
You
the
just said
answers.
yes, but that was wrong. It was from other people.
Well, 1,000 of it was mine. $500 was crowdsourced. And then the $3,500 that I paid on my car was from me.
Okay. Gosh, this is so hard to trust anything you say. What is the interest rate on this?
Like
Oh,
8%.
it's 8.3. It's not good. It's not keeping up with the market.
No.
Then you have a depreciating asset, one that you're already like $7,000 in negative equity. Regular payment, $351.63. These are stacking up. These payments are stacking up. CarMax, is this for a different
So that's for
one
the
then?
Jeep. That's for the total. Because we didn't
Oh,
have
so you
gap
still owe.
insurance, so I still owe on that one.
So it wasn't rolled over. Okay.
No. It's 2 individuals.
Okay, minimum monthly payment minimum monthly payment $344.39 with a balance of $8,423.22. Okay, interest rate 9%, so it's even worse.
Neither one of us necessarily wanted to spend the money on this car the way we did. We were going to look into refinancing it the year that we totaled
Well,
it.
now you have to pay something 8,423 for something that has nothing.
And we tried to see if we could take that car and sell it for parts or anything like that, and it would actually be more expensive to even just
And
get
it's
it out of the
completely
lot.
totaled.
It is completely totaled.
Jeez. Scraps?
I mean, we tried. It's more expensive to get it out of the lot to sell it for scraps than what we would make on scraps.
Where is it?
It's in a junkyard in town. Yeah. So we tried to, because we were going to take that and just put some of that extra towards it, but it costs more to even do that.
Okay, well, this one I feel bad about. I don't know about the insurance thing. Well, I think obviously I would recommend looking into that more. This is the first one that I feel like sympathy over, because the rest have been you. This was a stupid debt probably, but the car no longer being here, that was less your fault. Okay, student loans, instead of adding all these up individually, I did see it was like...
I think it's like 13,000.
Yeah, 13,006. So
Yes.
what's up with the payment status of these?
So I was on the SAVE plan. That's no longer a thing. So they sent me an email saying that I had 4 months of back payment, and they were going to start garnishing my wages if I didn't just pay it. So
Back payment?
So
Really?
I went through and I paid the 4 months of back payment. I
wasn't aware
tried
of
to
that.
pull.
How much was that?
It was about $500. So it's about
Okay.
$130 a month here going forward.
So 130, okay. And they're probably all relatively meh interest rates, like 4 or 5%.
Yeah, they're not super duper high. I think they're like a 3.5.
We could probably minimum payments until those are paid off. Is there seriously still more? This is insane. Okay, so you got $13,000 in student loans. That's actually not horrible. It's certainly below the median. Did you graduate?
So I have an associate's in arts, I have an associate's in business management, and a bachelor's in accounting.
Oh, okay. A bachelor in accounting. We can't figure out how to budget. Okay.
So accounting was not my
can't
field. It was not my
run a
thing.
budget.
I strictly
But you got your
glided
degree
past.
in
I
it.
glided past my C's get degrees. So glided past my classes. It was not a field I was going to work in. I admitted that to myself. I admitted that to my husband.
Yeah, I mean, you manage
Like,
a tattoo
it is
shop
just
for just
not-
$20 an hour, essentially.
It is not the field for me.
Okay. If you ever want to change things, obviously I can gift you a course career certification of your choice that helps boost a resume, change careers. A lot of people in the audience have used it. Okay. Jeez. 4 months of back pay. That's brutal. I was not aware of that, and I got to look more into that. If all the people that have been on our show that had saved, do they have all these back pays all of a sudden?
They just sent me the email last month when I was sending you all of this even, and I never even got the notifications that I was past due.
You don't even use a degree.
and
What are you trying
I-
to do for a career path? Because you're not making as much as you...
So that is something I'm
Definitely
trying to
could
like
be.
actively figure out
You
right
don't
now.
know.
I genuinely really don't.
You don't have a desire for anything?
I'm leaning really into the graphic design field. It's kind of a combination of what I've been doing now in my current job, and so I'd like to look into getting more into that. I'm just not prioritizing my schooling or going back to school since husband is actively in school. But with the idea of having to move soon, that is becoming a little more terrifying because there's no guarantee I can just find another tattoo shop to work at.
Oh, this is the mortgage. Okay, so what's owed on the mortgage? $260,446.30. Okay, I don't want the internet to see, and Zillow is not uber accurate, but it's going to give us at least something to work with.
And we have added a fence to our house, so that did increase some property value.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
It's not a ton, but it did a little something.
I'm going to have you look it up on my phone. Well, this comes back. All right, type in your address. Mortgage payment is $1,619.95. So it thinks it's better than you said. Now, it is quite generous, typically. Okay, but it suggests that you have an equity position about $68,000. So I think, listen, even if you do have to sell for a little lower than this, I think you will walk away with money.
Okay. That makes me feel
I think
good
you'll
about
probably walk away with 20 to 30 in cash.
Okay.
All goes well. Because a lot of people are having to drop prices these days. Don't try to over ask. That's what a lot of sellers are f***ing themselves with, and then they're on the market forever. Then people are like, why is it on the market forever? Psychologically, things get involved, and then people are like, well, I'm not going to bid on this. House has been on the market forever. Yeah?
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay. Is that all the debt?
Yes.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 debts. 12 debts. Student loans being something that could increase our value. You're not really utilizing that. And the house is obviously something that has helped. And we probably made the right decision going into the housing position that you did. So, one good debt, essentially. One good debt. In this checking account, $182. ATM withdrawal, $140. Who knows where that went?
Oh,
Went
that
to a
was
restaurant, Apple Bill, Target, Van went out 15, Prime Video, Bojangles.
I'm hungry.
Coffee, got some BS, Prime Video, Marco's Pizza, Black Mountain, Snapchat? The f*** is paying for Snapchat?
Who is paying for Snapchat?
You guys! It was a cheap one. It was
I
like
have a
restoring a fucking streak.
Oh, Jesus. That was my husband.
What a man.
I know.
Restoring a snap. Oh, it continues so much. Look at this. It's all bull. Yeah, that's why the spending's crazy at the beginning. We didn't see it until now. ATM fee, ATM withdrawal, 123. Apotheca.
That's a vape shop.
Oh, fucking just wonderful. Just absolutely fantastic. Cinema. Restaurant, Hulu. Amazon. Pike Place, I think, Tazewell.
Oh, that's parking. We have to pay to park, so we didn't get a parking pass this year.
$36.20.
Yeah, we didn't get a parking pass this year. It's expensive.
Why
Shea Guevara, delicious.
Yamato, Blom Shop,
vape shop.
Nail Spa, Bird App, Westo, McDonald's,
So-
Cinnabar, Barnes & Noble, Drake's, Thrift Books, Regal.
The parking and
Cinema.
the other stuff is going to start coming off. That 140 was for an electric scooter, so we can park in the free parking, which is about 45-minute walk away, and we now have a scooter that we own that we don't have to pay any extra for to get there
Taco
for free
Bell,
parking.
Smoke Shop, Thrift, books, more books. Just listen. Libraries
The
for
thrift,
now.
no, the thrift
Libraries
books
now.
were for textbooks. The thrift books was textbooks.
Okay.
That was textbooks. That Barnes and Noble. That was me having fun for my birthday.
Journeys, was that for textbooks?
No.
Oh, it
No,
continues
this
so
was
much.
for my birthday.
Amazon, ATM withdrawal, $300. Amazon Retta. Tommy Tent, Scruffy City, Tazewell Pike Place, Amazon, Zaxby's, Retta, going and getting some BS, Venmo out, Watson's e-commerce, Smoke Shop, Ulta, Krispy Kreme, Chick-fil-A, Victoria's Secret. Come on. Come on.
That's when I took myself out for my
Come
birthday.
on. F*** your birthday. I don't give a f***. It was 26. Doesn't even matter.
I know.
It's nothing.
But this is like the first year I've had, like, a group of
Sticky rice.
friends.
Shut the f*** up. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Celebrate that when you're out of fucking debt. When you can do the things you want to do, including pay the fucking IRS, then you can have a birthday month. I would have allowed a birthday. Cash App out. Tommy's Tent. Ah! It does not stop. Preservation. McDonald's, Taco Bell. Berdaddles! Preservation! Netflix, Turn Club, Amazon, Oliver Hotel, Cash App, Watson Commerce. Going to get a CBS. Victoria's Secret again, Blom Shop, McKay Used Books, your fucking Tommy's Trends, Ulta, something, Pike Place, Kindle. Stop it! Libraries. They're not all textbooks. They can't be.
They're not all
Venmo. Ah! Okay? Other checking account, $172. BS. Sonic Drive-In. Vaping. The amount you guys spend on vaping is insane. Absolute fucking insane. Subscription, Arby's. Used books. Yeah. And then a maintenance fee because you didn't have enough money in there because you got it all on vaping and books. You just vape and read while getting your stupid bull. Can you sell your books? Use books?
Yes, I actually can sell.
What do you have, like, worth? Your collection?
Probably between the two of us, like $6,000.
Sell them!
Okay.
You can get them back again. I know it costs money, but like, get out of debt. $27 in this account. You went in and got some bull. Ah! Old Europe. Smoke Shop. Chick-fil-A. Use books. Chick-fil-A. Wiggles. TikTok shop, $63.
Hey, that was a cat tree. That was actually a really good deal on a cat tree.
Congratulations, your cat can climb up a couch. I don't give
like
a
my
fuck.
couch.
You're in debt. Chick-fil-A. Used books. Oh, sorry, I already did that one. Okay, Chick-fil-A. Something pop up. Used books, $101. You do not read that quick.
I read 200 books a year on average.
That's great. I started picking up reading this year too, and I'm plowing through books, but you are not reading them that fast. Listen, I've seen $300 of books
And
purchases
it's not
in
just
a
me.
month?
My husband is also a fast reader. My husband also has to read a lot for school.
These are not for school though, not all of them.
Not all of them.
Come
Not all
on,
of
I have
them.
to use. Okay, $5 in this account. What is this? Oh, savings.
We don't use that as a savings account. That's just the automatic one.
What
they
is
give
this?
us.
$13,000.
That is our savings account that has the money for
Where's
the surgery
Oh.
and the extra money that I wanted to have for post-surgery recovery in case anything comes
Well,
up.
this is a change.
Yeah.
This is a positive change after a mountain of death. 23 cents. Okay, so $13,014.23. What did it start at? It went up.
I'm trying.
surprised.
I'm trying to save money. I know I don't
$200
look
in
like it.
retirement. Okay, that's not great.
No.
Obviously, the disability, that's going to last forever. Okay. So you think, I'd say 8,500 hits your account. Hopefully when the hours go up, that's better. Debt payments, not including mortgage.
We just got the hour increase this week, actually, so that will be going up.
$161. No. Debt payments, $1,614.59. Not including mortgage. Mortgage, $1,619.95.
That did increase $50 because of taxes.
Okay.
So it went
that's gonna
$50
happen
this year. Yeah.
forever. Okay, utilities.
Utilities, it's $25 for water. It's $118 for internet. It's
That's expensive.
about $200 for KUB, which is lights and electric. Those are the big ones.
Okay, $343. Gas, vroom, drive both.
For both of us, it's about $80 a month.
Phone bill.
Phone bill is about $150 a month.
Ugh. Car insurances.
That is $1,300 every 6 months, and that'll be coming out in another month.
We gotta save for it. So every 6.
Every 6.
So $217 is what we budget to save for it. $600 for food should be fine. TP fund, anything else needed to survive, we'll do $150, should be good. Medical health expenses, monthly basis.
About $300.
Really?
Yes.
Post tax? Post everything.
Yeah,
Net.
post everything. Post
Okay.
everything. I am not covered on the VA's insurance.
insurance?
Pet insurance, it's $35 per pet, and I have 5 pets, so about $180.
$175. Okay, pet food,
That's about $200 for absolutely everything the pets need every month.
including pet insurance.
No, that is like
okay.
litter,
Gym?
food for both of them. That's $90 for both of us every month.
90 together.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that needs to be in your budget that I have not put in your budget?
Oh, we have trash every 6 months. And that's $200. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. You have an extra. Come on. Listen, I'll give you $300 for fun. And you still have an extra fucking. Let's just call it $2,500. The rest can be budgeted for fun. I mean, come on. This is $5,539 to survive on a monthly basis. This is so stupid. There's no reason to be in this debt. Not at all. And that pisses me off more than the people that are, struggling. You're not even struggling. This is all choice. This is all choice. Okay, $71,092.94 of bad debt divided by 2,500. Gonna take 28 months. It's 2 years. Call it another 6 months after that to get a fully funded emergency fund. It's fine. Listen, I know we have to include that extra 8,000 for the surgery, but you already can cash flow it with that 13 in savings, and you already have what is necessary for that longevity. So we don't even have to budget in that. But budget in the move, obviously. But you're gonna get the sale of the home, but that's probably after move. So you're probably gonna subsidize, or you're probably gonna essentially budget in here, probably not paying off debt for a couple months to pay for the move, and then take the lump sum from the selling of the house and throw it towards debt only if, I don't want to repeat it for the 4th time now, you actually change your behavior. This is so stupid. This is all behavioral. There is nothing else here. This is all behavioral. You can pay off debt. You shouldn't even be in debt. This is so silly. And I'm going to call the husband in the post show because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I need to talk to him. This is crazy. It's just upsetting. You have so much money left over. This is all a personal choice. Birthday months, that's what's more important. Spending a budget, you overspent 0 out of 10. Debt, come on. You have to, nothing in collections. The IRS thing's coming up. You can budget that in. Let's say 3 years being conservative it takes to pay off all this. His income's going to go down a little too, so let's call it 3 years. You can still do it. Budgeting these different things. Okay, debt, pretty still bad for the income. 70,000 bad. Yeah. 1 out of 10. Emergency fund. Technically you have it, but it is going towards something else coming up soon. But I will give you 2 out of 10 just for the savings of it in general. Retirement fund. Retirement is nothing. 1 out of 10. Real estate. Real estate's actually pretty good. What's the interest rate on that?
3%.
Yeah. I'm happy with this house. 8 out of 10. Should be good. There is still debt though, which is always, no matter what, a risk, even if it's a low risk. Hammer financial score, rounded up 2.5 out of 10. We're going to call the husband. We're going to see what kind of things come out of that conversation, but he needs to be confronted about the situation. We need to get his perspective on this. So make sure you join Hammer Elite below. And you can take all of our programs bundled together for 15% off also below. And make sure you download the Simpler Budget app. I'll see you in the post show. To be clear, with all this conversation that we've talked about, you are the one that deals with the household finances and he's not involved at all. And now he's starting to get involved a little. Is it because he can't trust you?
He's never had to really manage any finance. Exactly why he's getting involved is because of where we've ended up.
Let's call him. Mr. Husband, hello. To watch the financial audit post show, click the join button below.